James Kaufman, World News Report today. Ladies and gentlemen, we're starting to get leaks from Pentagon and ex-Pentagon officials actually portraying an entire different situation than mainstream media is portraying. They're saying that this conflict between the U.S., Israel, and Iran is not going well at all. Now, y'all might know before the bombing started, the U.S. actually retreated from the bases closest to Iran, knowing that those bases would be targeted. They set up in bases further away, which since then they have retreated from. So not only did they retreat from the bases around Iran, they have retreated to the fallback bases even further out. And a lot of those bases have retreated to hotel rooms, which have also been bombed, by the way. So we've had some really bad hits. All of our bases have been destroyed, according to Colonel Douglas McGregor. All of our harbor installations have been destroyed. We've actually had to fall back strategically to India and Indian ports, which are less than ideal, but now also being bombed by Iran. Iran has had several setbacks, i.e. some of their radar technology, etc., but we've had Russia and China step in to make sure that they had real-time information about everything going on. Now, we've even had Russia, China, and North Korea step in and send more missiles and bombs, including hypersonic missiles, supposedly, to Iran, even though Iran says they're set up to play ball for 5+ years already. Well, let me tell you, after the U.S. supplying arms to Ukraine over a 3 or 4 year period, the U.S. is not set up from a flotilla to hang in there for, well, anywhere near that period of time. The only solution here is going to be boots on the ground, and it's going to be a terrible solution. Never going to work out. You're never going to see a regime change here. The best you can hope for is to, well, weaken the country tremendously. Right now, they're the third largest producer of oil and gas in the world, with about 210 billion barrels of proven reserves. Venezuela was the largest producer with 330 billion barrels of proven reserves. We just basically took that from them. And now we seem to be following up with number 3, Saudi Arabia being the second largest producer of oil and gas. Is this about oil and gas? Or is this about freedom for the people and regime change? I ask you, wouldn't it have been smarter to get small arms on the ground to these groups that were protesting in the millions that are unarmed and trying to fight people with machine guns? Well, let's listen to what Colonel Douglas McGregor has to say about the entire situation, and we'll let you decide where we really are. Is this propaganda that we're being fed, i.e. the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act, or are we really getting the truth out of the mainstream media? I don't think that, well, that B is possible.
China and Russia are sitting on the sidelines monitoring everything. They're in close touch with the government. They're providing satellite intelligence, which accounts for some of the tremendous successes, particularly in Israel and on our U.S. bases. All of our bases have been destroyed. Our harbor installations are destroyed. We're actually having to fall back on India and Indian ports, which are less than ideal. That's what the Navy says. And I think Iran, much to our disappointment, is faring very, very.
It's faring very, very well indeed. No troops, major amounts of troops lost. Continue large daily bombardments and missile barrages. And Tel Aviv is, what's left of Tel Aviv doesn't look real great. I'll leave you with this, folks. We're calling in an entire new strike group, 7,500 more soldiers, 4 destroyers, another nuclear aircraft carrier, another wing squadron, etc. If we were doing great, would that be occurring? And I'm afraid that our base in Qatar, when it was hit with the large ballistic missiles that were conventional but extremely large, I think that it was filled with troops. Again, a lot of those troops have now had to fall back to hotel rooms, and the staff at those hotel rooms are actually leaking information to Iran, and those rooms are even being hit now. That said, how long can we keep this up? How long can Washington hide what I'm sure is thousands of U.S. soldiers' bodies? That's the very, very worst part about this. If you haven't been able to get in touch with your son, daughter, husband, brother, sister, you better start worrying, because I think a lot more soldiers have been eliminated than has been disclosed to the public. And by a lot, I mean incredible numbers. We're talking about, I'd rather not say, but I think that we're all going to find out, and it's going to catch up to Trump very quickly. Remember, there's a reason if you can't get in touch with your brother, sister, cousin, uncle, daughter, son, etc. They may not be around any longer to pick up the call. Please share and subscribe. Always remember, anything's possible. Bizarro world.